In his book, Clinton Cash, Peter Schweitzer revealed that Bill Clinton was paid $500,000 to give a speech in Moscow at the Renaissance Bank, which is a state-influenced bank, at the same time that Hillary was voting to approve the sale of a fifth of America's uranium supply to Russia, or to a Russian company. Now, thanks to some diligent reporting by John Solomon of The Hill, it turns out that this was one of two bribes that Clinton received in connection with this uranium. You go back to 2005, and at that point, Clinton met with the president of Kazakhstan, who is a brutal dictator, and he did so at the invitation of a Canadian mining guy named Frank Giustra. And in return for going to the meeting with the president of Kazakhstan, Frank Giustra, who set up the meeting, gave Bill Clinton immediately $2.3 million to the foundation, and eventually over $100 million. In fact, he set up an arm of the Clinton Foundation focusing on climate issues, and endowed it with $100 million of his own money. So a huge bribe for that meeting. Now, what Giustra got out of it was that Kazakhstan sold him most of their uranium stockpile and the rights to their uranium mines. Giustra then took that asset and parlayed it into getting a stake of Uranium One, a global uranium company that was probably the largest in the world. Global One controlled a fifth of America's uranium mines. Russia then came along and bought Uranium One, including the American mines. And because the purchase involved the transfer of our mines to Russia, it had to go before the Special Committee on Foreign Investment, led by Hillary Clinton. At that point, Putin invited Bill to come to Moscow and give a speech before the Renaissance Bank, a state-controlled bank in Russia, and he was paid $500,000 for that. That was bribe number 2. Now, with all of this bribery going on, particularly about such a crucial issue as transferring America's uranium stockpile to Russia, that you would think that there would be publicity about it. You'd think that there would be indictments and public proceedings. But the FBI kept all this quiet, suppressed the information for the whole campaign, and it just came out because of investigative reporting done by The Hill. Now, there were 4 people involved in keeping that information secret. One was Robert Mueller, the new special prosecutor, who was the head of the FBI at the time. The other was James Comey, who succeeded him as the head of the FBI. The other was Rod Rosenstein, the guy who appointed Mueller as special prosecutor, who was the deputy attorney general who was in charge of overseeing this project. And the fourth was Eric Holder, the attorney general, who had overall charge of the FBI and who sat next to Hillary on the Foreign Investment Committee and voted in favor of the Russian takeover. So if this is a scandal that is crying out for a special prosecutor, and I hope that the Republicans make a big deal of this, talk about it a lot, remonstrate about it in the Senate, and that way Trump has the political cover to demand a special prosecutor. This dwarfs all the other scandals about Hillary Clinton, because there was a very tangible benefit that was given to the Russians for no particular benefit to the United States, but an immense benefit to Clinton, his foundation, his personal speaking fees that are income, and his overall financial interests. Thanks for watching.